Well, thank you for coming and playing Quantified.
Thank you very much for teaching it to us.
Cool. I just wondered, what did you find most entertaining or interesting or outstanding from the game?
What I find outstanding, I suppose, is that it clearly is subject matter that you guys care about. It's something that you are personally interested in, and that's reflected in the game. So rather than picking a theme which you think might be interesting to other people, you picked a theme that you care about, which means the game itself becomes so much more interesting than the theme simply being set dressing. It becomes something that teaches me, and something that I think about, and something that's funny, and something that's thought-provoking. And so yeah, something that just stands out massively compared to 99% of the games here.
Well, thanks a lot. I wonder, do you think it has the real potential to raise awareness on the topics that it's talking about?
I think so, yeah. I think the risk would be that it is so informed about its subject matter that people who don't know anything about it might not be able to connect with it at all. Whereas, this is something that I'm aware of. My wife was a migrant coming to England, and I've moved to America briefly, and so I'm aware that you don't have the rights of certain other people. And of course, being Western, we have so many more rights than people who aren't white, who don't speak English, who come over to other countries. So. And also, I have a lot of friends who are interested in data. So for me, it was just really fun to explore. And I think it definitely has potential to teach a lot of people. But yeah, my fear would be that it goes too deep, too quickly, and then you might lose people. But if you're careful not to do that, yeah, I think it can change a lot of minds or make people think about something they haven't thought about before. I hope.
That's a good point. I think we should work on that to make it accessible to a very wide audience. Yeah.
My friend, while we were playing the game, did have one point that I found quite interesting, which is what you see sometimes is not what's modeled in the game. What's modeled in the game is we're all working together, we're all going to become rich and or resist government laws that take our rights away so that we can all have all rights. Whereas my friend was joking that sometimes what you would see is people coming over and simply not connecting with their older friends who have less rights than them because that would harm their standing in society. So he was saying Quantified is a very optimistic vision of people where we will all work together to help everybody to have all of the rights, whereas what we think maybe see as stratification of people. If I have rights and you don't, maybe we drift apart. And that's an unfortunate side effect of, the laws that the game models.
It's great that you see that. Like, the intention was also to show that privileged citizens can actually also lose their rights during the game. Yeah.
Well, that was one of the things we found really interesting is that, that privileged citizens, maybe that was my favorite mechanic in it, the idea that some cards cause you to take your data and give it to other players' bags, which means if someone with no rights is leaking data all over the place and some of your data belongs to them, then you start saying, well, no, don't leave your house, don't post on social media because I might lose my job. And that was absolutely awesome because, that obviously is what happens if you do have friends who are criminals. I mean, I'm more ignorant on this than I would like to be, so I'm careful. I want to be careful not to put my foot in my mouth. But yeah, the idea of your data being given to other players and them bleeding it all over the board is super cool, I think.
Thanks. Well, they might not even be your friend. You might just be connected on Facebook and you don't know who you're connected with. So,
yeah, I think Matt was saying that the theme of the game might make more sense if you're family members where, who've all come over to a country at different points, because then regardless of your father or your child's rights, you have to help them. And that might be a theme that explains your need to stick together no matter what a little better. But it's just so interesting, I think. Can't wait to see what it looks like with full art design.
Great. Thanks for the idea at the end. I found the family idea very beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, thanks a lot for taking the time, and hope to see you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for showing us the game.
Cool.
Cheers.
Thanks.